Well, my building is about to paint my door and there's construction outside, so let's make this quick. FNAF relies on jump scares. It's what put the game on the map along with its estranged lore. But not all jump scares can be nightmares, and some are so bad that they've made Scott have to rethink the entire series. So which jump scares are the absolute worst, least scary, most pathetic jump scares of the bunch? That's what we're exploring today. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and this is the top 10 worst FNAF jump scares. This is honestly gonna be fun because I get to hate on animatronics instead of having to pretend that they're scary. Let's do it. And at 10, Phantoms. The Phantom animatronics from FNAF 3 are the scariest thing in that game, aside from the backstory. The design of the animatronics may be simple, but the idea that the jump scare doesn't end your game and in fact makes you panic instead is genius. However, with that being said, eventually you'll figure out when these are going to appear. For example, you check the camera and see that Phantom Foxy is blocking it. The minute you close the camera, you're gonna get jump scared, and something will malfunction. So once you know the signs, the jump scares won't actually be able to get you, and well, once they stop getting you, you won't really be scared by this game anymore. And I'll get to that point later on. But at least the Phantoms add some unpredictability into the game, but like only in the form of you don't know when they're gonna show up. Well, I mean, like, you know when they're gonna jump scare you, but you don't know when they're going to show up to jump scare you, you know? No strategy will ever be foolproof because of this. Not unpredictability in the scares, because you can guess those, but unpredictability in when those scares will, like, be able to show up. And at 9, Scrapped. The scrapped animatronic jump scares could be surprising if you're just chilling in your office playing Fruity Maze. However, when interviewing or testing them when you first find them, the scariest thing is the sound. After that, you're okay, because all they do is just stand up a little bit. Like when you don't get the loan you wanted at the bank, and then you start standing up because you're thinking, how could they do this to me? Or I guess like how characters in movies or TV do that, because I'm guessing most of the people watching this haven't tried and failed to get a loan from the bank, because you're all probably like 13, not 12, Copa, not 12. But like, let's be honest, all they really do is just stand up from behind the desk. That's it, nothing more. Like, they just move a tiny little bit, and then like, they're not like suddenly in your face, you know? They're not slashing your throat. They just say, hey, I'm functional, which is kinda lame. But like, if they get into your office, it's a different story. And it ain't Puppet. The puppet, while having a spooky backstory, isn't the scariest looking animatronic. The character is just a tall puppet that doesn't really have much else going for it. It's just a tall, lanky bean, like me. But this jump scare is also predictable if you're paying attention to the music box. And this is especially the case in FNAF VR, since you can see the puppet walking down the hallway. The first time in this entire series where we see the character walking with their feet touching the floor. We can see Nightmare on the ground in FNAF 4, but not the puppet, only a fearful reflection. And we never see the character's feet. I just figured that it was floating around, which I mean like would make sense, because honestly the puppet skips leg day more than me, and I only work out when the Ninja Warrior training course is open. But seriously, the puppet is the least scary animatronic, and that's on a list that includes less scary characters. Some are even meant to help you, or at least test your ball pit. And at 7, O Chica. O Chica is a scary animatronic, being introduced in the FNAF 4 Halloween update and later making its way into the Help Wanted DLC. I always want to avoid this animatronic, however in the Pirate Ride minigame it may be impossible. In the second Helpy section that's revealed, the one at the end of the level, you get taken through the back rooms, one of which appears to be the kitchen where Chica is standing outside. To get her to move inside, you need to hit a scrolling red button that's going past. You know, it's like on like a conveyor belt like thing, just being dragged. You need to hit that red button to get her to go back in. If you miss, however, she will run at you. This jump scare is easy because you see it coming. You literally watch her chicken feet slap the floor as she sprints full force, coming at you like you're a freshly cooked pizza pie. But you still see her coming, so you know when the scare is coming too. And at 6, Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy isn't a scary animatronic. The dude just looks like an illicit substance dealer with a grudge against the man. Well, like, what's Balloon Boy's deal anyway? Like, he just messes with the lights? Okay, so what? The poltergeist in my apartment does the same thing when I'm sleeping. Why would I care about a little dude running around carrying a bunch of balloons like he just discovered that helium can change your voice? Like, get a life, Balloon Boy, and get out of my office. Don't make me call your mother. Halfway through, and at number 5, Minigames. FNAF 2's Minigames were some of the most confusing but helpful helpful parts of the FNAF 2 story, little between night minigames that would help break up the stress of those nights. However, they would still get you with the jump scare related to the character in that minigame when the minigame ended, thus leaving us petrified. However, after that, we instantly knew what to expect and when to expect it, leaving the jump scare to shake us at most, solely due to the noise that plays along with the character jumping at you, which is unfortunate, but desensitization at its finest. It's in its purest form. And for Helpy. Helpy from Ultimate Custom Night is one of those animatronics that's just a static image being shaken around when they jump scare, which isn't really that scary to begin with. Throw in that Helpy is probably the most adorable of the friendly looking animatronics, and his jump scare doesn't even work in the game. It doesn't make things worse either. He doesn't activate Music Man and he doesn't kill you. He just wanted to say hi. His jump scare noises, even the MLG horn sound, just sped up a little bit. Helpy is literally cheering you on while you're playing through one of the most stressful games in existence. What everyone thought Foxy was trying to do in the original FNAF game, Helpy is doing. He's actually doing it. He's just being a bro and giving you the love and support we all need and should be getting, whether it's from our bros, gals, or significant bro or gal or any loved one in my life needs to hype me up as much as Helpy, or it ain't worth it at this point. That's my standard. The bar has been raised. And at 3, Mangle. Mangle's jump scare from Ultimate Custom Night is sad in my opinion. It feels like I didn't get my money's worth out of the FNAF game and it's really just a fan game instead. Why? Because it's just a static picture that's being shaken around on screen, and I'm pretty sure the same thing goes for Nightmare Mangle too. Just a PNG that gets shaken around a little bit. Come on. That's like me when I was a baby. There's not much other than a noise, and while the noise may scare you a little bit, you usually need the visual to help enhance the effect, but the shaking picture ain't gonna do it. Honestly, a load of Ultimate Custom Night jump scares are like this, as you've been able to tell, and I have a few of them on this list. And it's unfortunate, but I understand not wanting to animate 50 different animatronics. That would suck big time, but I mean, you also did it for Help Wanted, but you also had a bigger studio behind you. Give and take. And at 2, Grimm Foxy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The glory of the actual scare from an animatronic comes from the surprise factor. The fact that you didn't know it was coming, or you had some form of build-up beforehand. Grimm Foxy in the Corn Maze minigame from Dreadbear DLC is quite possibly the most anticipated and expected jump scare out of every single game and animatronic in the series. You literally get notified by in-game sounds when he notices you, and then you have a decent amount of time to hide before he actually catches up. He's actually fairly slow. You have so much time that I was able to recite whole vines in a live stream we did when we actually, before he actually caught up to me. And don't get me wrong, when he got me I was scared, but that's thanks to my coworkers putting me on edge because they were trying to break into the office and jump scare me, which I ended up catching because they thought I wouldn't have locked the door to the studio. If you're playing a scary game, you lock the damn door. If you have time to prepare for the scare though, it's not scary. If I was playing that at any other point and they hadn't tried to break into the office and grab my foot, then I would have been fine. I'm sorry I swore, but I'm still upset about that. I can't believe they were gonna grab my foot. That's so rude. Finally, in at number 1, Springtrap. I understand that most of you find Springtrap to be a scary character, and that's understandable. His backstory is creepy, he's the killer of the series, and he was alive in the suit after plenty of metal was shoved in him at the speed of spring locks. So you'd figure his jump scare would be the scariest, right? Well, while the noise that plays may be scary, Springtrap himself does little but move in a zigzag while slowly coming at the player. Come on, man, you're a killer. I understand, you're in your murder suit and you're calm and collected, but dude, this could have been the scariest game in the series if Springtrap wasn't just chilling. It was so bad and fans were so disappointed that Scott ended up extending the series that was meant to be the final game. FNAF 3 was supposed to be the final game, but people hated the Springtrap jump scare so much because it wasn't scary enough, so he made FNAF 4, and he made the Nightmare animatronics. But something that bad deserves to be number 1. There you have it, friends, the top 10 worst FNAF jump scares. Which jump scares do you find to be the least scary, and which ones are the scariest? Be sure you let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. The designs of the animatronics may be simple, but the idea that the jump scare doesn't end your game and in fact makes you panic, it's... Oh great, my camera's gonna die. Oh.